They'll be calling you a radical. All anti-nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. I want to explain something that's been going on with me behind the scenes for quite a few years. A lot of people don't understand that part of my process, I've been fighting this nuclear cartel tooth and nail. When I got sick, I've been fighting Blue Castle, which Blue Castle nuclear generator, I single-handedly took apart. Well, I shouldn't say single-handedly, the Salt Lake Tribune and I took apart. That's the most corrupt thing. Dirty Herbie should be put in prison because of his involvement with Blue Castle. And I want to say, Arnie Gundershield, when I was in New York, almost blew the whole case for him. We had him check it, and this place in southern Utah called Hill of Utah, a bunch of California, it got invoked to be anti-nuclear because of Fukushima. They need to raise some more money. So they hired Gundershield, and he let him off the mat down in Price in the case. They waited till I was in New York and quit consulting me. These guys right here. Now, I've been very quiet about this because there's lawyers involved. This is some heavy, heavy stuff. And I'm in a very vulnerable, dangerous position. I'm going to go forward with this because I've been quiet about it because I've been fighting these guys. Okay, here it is. These companies backdoored what we call the Blue Castle nuclear processing, the contract, because they have to have the funding. They lied on their lead dog. Now, maybe that's just the way the gods or the God or whatever the powers there be, they shine inside of me. Maybe that's why I got leukemia, because right as Blue Castle started their advertising campaign on KSL, is right when I'm using social media with a central line hanging out of my jugular vein. Now I want to explain this. They're trying to backdoor the price. This goes heavily, heavily deep inside the Mormon church. Very deep. I'm very connected in this town. I come from incredible connected bloodlines. But I've broke ranks a long time ago. And they know I broke ranks. Of course, it's spite that I was ever born to set this right. Now here's what they've done. The trolls and the rats that are going after us, these are the companies that are paying the trolls and the rats. And I've dug in. We got attorneys involved. We got the whole situation flew out in Canada. Palco Environmental was involved. They hired a PR firm. They hired Edelman, the PR firm out of Calgary. They have these rats and the trolls, these YouTubers that are going after me. Edelman sends them a check. They all do it without their names and their faces. This is paid rat. And our attorneys have dug it out and they know it. This is very real stuff. They have a reactor at Oregon State University, a small secret one. It's right by the football stadium. Kathleen Higley, who's connected, who comes out of the IA and the World Health Organization grandstand, put these people, she's connected. They have a secret reactor in the basement at the University of Utah. Very secret. It's there. These things are not safe. They are not safe, and they have them all over, and they're trying to backdoor the federal licensing. That's one of the few things that we got right. You know, I've been fighting San Onofre, as you know, my whole life. The NRC, I'm heavily involved with the NRC. I'm heavily involved with the group that's taking apart the PG&E, California Public Commission, freaking criminals. I know Cherry personally. They raided his house. They raided these are big, you know, you think I'm just some YouTube ranter, you better think again. This is very real, and I put myself in a and people say, you're crazy. You know, people said this for a long time about me. You know, my Wall Street career, all of it. You know, I gave it up a long time ago for this. I've been fighting this for a long time. But, you know, I got a YouTube camera, Fukushima happened, then I got leukemia, of course. And I will say this, everybody says, oh, you can't take these down, they will kill you. They're killing me anyway. They gave me leukemia, you know. Thelma's hot, Thelma's hot. I don't talk about this a lot, but because I didn't want to sound like I was completely insane conspiracy theory. When I got leukemia, I've been fighting these guys tooth and nail hardcore. They all know me. They hate me with a deep-rooted passion. I'm the one that named Dirty Herbie the most corrupt governor in American history. The sitting attorney general and the ex-attorney know me personally. Both been indicted by the FBI, charged, arrested at their house, 11 felonies, 13 in the state of Utah. It goes deep inside the Mormon church. These guys have connections inside there, this company. They're trying to backdoor the licensing process, which is in love. Of course, Harry Reid, a Mormon, who's the one who's blocked at Yucca Mountain, illegally, Congress passed it. You don't have to agree with Congress, of course, the Patriot Act trumps it all. You know, and I know I'm in a very dangerous spot, and I know that there's been plenty, they've tried every dirty trick on me, but here's what I say it right to the hierarchy of the Mormon church. They all know me very, KSL blackballed me. I used to be the expert. I used to be to all the universe. My voice is all over, even in California, their tentacles go deep. This is as corrupt as it gets. They're trying to tap into Anderson Cooper, well, excuse me, there's a Freudian slip, Anderson Val, but Price Anderson, the Congressional Act, Patriot Act, free money like everybody else, these corrupt bastards. Here's what I say right to them, and they'll tell me, Kevin, you're going to get yourself killed. I said, yeah, like they murdered my father. When I got leukemia, guess who else got leukemia the exact same time? You know, it was post-Fukushima, a lot of people, but you know, Thelma's Hot, she made that movie. You know Nora got leukemia at the same time. Now, we know what happened to Karen Silkwood. Now, the other facility, this identical, which I fight, is right out behind my house. I'm in the belly of the beast. If you only knew how deep I am in the belly of the beast. People don't know, you know. This YouTube camp, Fukushima, I've used my style and everything because I needed a platform. I needed to get, and I thought Fukushima would be the one that would awake the world to what I've been doing for the whole time. I know this thing. It's my PhD that exposed the 252 illegal dump sites here, and this beautiful PhD they've been working on for years in Australia is a masterful piece. It's masterful. It's a PhD in its own right, just alone there. But I've been fighting these guys for hardcore for a long, long time. You know, they murdered my father, but Nora got leukemia at the same time. Now, you know she had threats on her life the whole time by the nuclear industry. You know that, you know, even the award shows and their golden calf statue went after her hardcore. She died right as I came out of the thing, and I was very happy. I did a memorial video out there at the Great Salt Lake for her. Thelma's Hot, that was her movie. You know what heat she took from these people do not play fucking fair. And you know, I didn't want to say, you know, the dean of the university says, Kevin, you ever think that maybe the nuclear industry sent you leukemia in the mail? And I said, they didn't have to. They sent it to all of us in the mail. It's called the jet stream. And they really thought I would die. I had people lined up inside my room. You wouldn't believe it. You know, local media, national media, all over when I was dying. I mean, you wouldn't believe the calls I was getting, whatever. I had Arnie Gunderson in my sight day 1. I had to block him after day 12 because telling, oh, it's a hydrogen blast, covering for the nuclear industry hardcore. I had Chris Busby attacking me in capital letters. Why I was going in and out of a coma. You know, why I'm doing these videos against Blue Castle, I'm going in and out of a coma. So when they come to me, you should have seen the stack of media requests. My lawyer was involved, my attorney was involved at then. Even he's got cold feet on me. It's like, oh my God, Kevin, where you go? You know, and you can ask people inside the PG&E in California at San Onofre. Oh, ask the head of the NRC, ask the spokesman of the NRC, the lead guy's been, have a conversation with him about me. He'll tell me behind quiet doors. You know, I know them all personally. Even the guys that they went to their houses and arrested, I know them personally. They fear me. They fear me because they know I know. They know I eat, sleep, drink this. They know my brain, and that's this Fukushima clan I'm trying to get a lot of out. And so, you know, my own attorney, people inside my own family, the connections I have, the university, everything. I'm blackballed. I've been blackballed from the universities. I'm okay. And you know where the term blackball comes from. Oh boy, can I get into that? But I look right at them, and I look just like this, and I say to them, you know, and this is what offends me of Barry Antoinette, Barack Obama so grotesquely. His mother died of leukemia so young. So young. Mike Lee's dad, he's drank the Kool-Aid on this. He was placed, they meet inside the Mormon church, inside the temple, and they make all these decisions. You do know that. Orrin Hatch. And if you don't believe me, Mike Lee's house in foreclosure, they don't have open primaries here. These decisions, they're completely nuclear. They're killing their own people. They don't care. They don't care. Mike Lee's dad died very young of leukemia. Barack Obama's mother, a downwinder, died the disrespect, the heartless. I mean, these people are freaking all of them in Utah. And I look at these, I mean, I'm connected with the very top of the Mormon church in a lot of ways. My bloodlines, oh boy, if you only knew. But I broke ranks a long time ago from these monsters. And I look right at them and I say this. As David, he reached into the bag. And he pulled out his stone. And he slung the stone, and it struck the giant in the head. And it embedded in the giant's head, and the giant fell to the earth. Then do you know what he did with his head? You know, you want to play? Then I look simply at him and I say, though I have walked through the valley of shadow of dark death, I fear no evil. For his rod and his staff, they comfort me, they guide me. He lays me down by calm waters and green pastures, anoints my head with oil. My cup overflow, for I fear no evil. And that's the way I am. And everybody knows it, my family, they know. And they'll tell you. You talk to anybody that knows me, and they'll say, he is fearless. And I'm going to stay fearless. These guys, they're going after us. This is who's hired these rats all over Canada. These YouTube rats that are going at us, they get a check. They use fake names. They won't tell you their name, which, by the way, I know all their names. We've investigated, and I just kind of let them go. You let them go, you know, on advice of attorneys, let them go. We need more information, which they've done. When they exposed the checks and all this, which they did, I'm working on the advice of attorneys, and they're saying, let them get it out there so we have a paper trail. And they've created an incredible paper trail to hang themselves. And they've hung themselves, and they're never taking it back. But this is the game they're playing. This is the most corrupt. These companies are grotesque. They're so unbelievable corrupt. And they have the full backing of the Mormon Church. They have the full backing of the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, all the way up until. So that's why it's tough, and that's why you got to see why I was so excited when they raided Brian Cherry's house in Northern California, when they raided, you know, PV, that creepy scum. By the way, right as they're raiding his house, they're having a 250-plate dinner, and it's very important that Marie Antoinette stood at Stanford on Friday the 13th. And gave that. The #1 contingency of people that were there, the biggest contingency of people were there, were the Mormon Church and the state of Utah. State of Utah had a giant contingent. Why? Utah is big data. Do you know about NSA here? It's all controlled through the Mormon Church. Now, you know, I take a lot of shit for it, and I'm not afraid of them. You know, I'm not afraid. Thelma's hot. You know, Kevin, they probably sent you to Kemia. LDS, which is not owned by the Mormon Church anymore. I mean, you can't make this story. Talk about my place and time. My Danish philosophy doctors that saved me, my Danish philosophy, I mean, Red 10, Celeste herself, 26 years there. Says, Kevin, I prepared your paperwork when you walked in. You're the only Red 10 I ever saw walk out here. I expect you to be dead in days. So did they. Everybody backed out in my room, all the media and everything. Oh, it was a feel-good story, and it was all hunky-dory like you false equivalents of fake green hypocrite fuckers and the radical insane right. You know, I love it how they deflect on